Extreme weather disasters have become more frequent, more intense, and they are happening in more unexpected places. This graph from the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration and the National Centers for Environmental Information shows that the last 2 years we've seen the greatest number of multi-billion-dollar extreme weather disasters on record in the US. Today we're here for planet action. So what are we going to do about this? Here at MIT, there are many faculty and research scientists from all across campus working to prepare for these new weather extremes that we're seeing. And they're doing this by reducing key scientific uncertainties, downscaling and risk modeling for specific locations, and researching the implications of a green energy transition. And we're using this new data and our models to understand future flood risk on our campus with the Office of Sustainability at MIT. Our team at the Urban Risk Lab then absorbs all this new knowledge and data from downscaled climate and flood models and works on resilience planning strategies and design strategies through software, design, and building. We, like many others, have designs and plans working closely with cities and communities. But the next step of implementation is costly. It is so expensive to build and even more expensive to adapt after something is already built, and even more expensive to rebuild after a disaster. The return on investment is clear, and there are many reports that state this. The most recent one is called Beyond the Payoff: How Investments in Resilience and Disaster Preparedness Protect. And this report says that every dollar invested in disaster resilience today could save communities up to $33 in lost future economic activities. And most importantly, it would save lives. Here, I would like to introduce the idea of dual-use design, especially in building a culture of preparedness. Imagine a world in which disaster preparedness is embedded in every part of the design of cities, urban systems, parks, and buildings. And let me share some stories from our research in Japan. If you're going to build a park plus water retention. Fukakita Rekuchi Park is designed for sports, exploring nature, having picnics with your family, and it serves as a flood basin after heavy rains. The park is subdivided into 3 floodable zones based on rainfall intensity, and each zone, as it reaches capacity, it overflows into the next, so the whole park doesn't get mushy and affected all at once. Since the opening of the park in 1982, the Neya River has overflowed 20 times, but the park prevented the neighborhood from being inundated and protected all of the surrounding neighborhoods. Hattori Ryokuchi Park in Osaka is not only a park and a water retention system, but it provides emergency preparedness training. And the barbecue restaurant on the Everyday also is a barbecue area for after a disaster when there's no electricity. And the person who runs it, the owner, is a trained emergency volunteer and a ham radio operator. And the toilets around the park, there are manhole covers around it so that if there's evacuated thousands of people, then it can accommodate 3 times more people and their waste. The coastal plains near Sendai provide coastal protection, but they're also an educational community forest, and the children in the neighborhood plant the trees and watch the trees grow. There are also evacuation hills, And while the species of the trees and shrubs provide ecological benefits, the roots intertwine to make a more stable coastline. Another type of coastal protection in Kesennuma, this community-owned restaurants and commercial areas has a sea wall embedded in it to raise the building and to protect the surrounding neighborhood from storm surges. To share some smaller scale examples, the Horikawa River channel in Kyoto, the fire department can place these planks in these designed slots, and it fills up the basin so that the fire department can use it to put out fires. And even smaller, there are examples of barbecue benches and toilets and pavilions in small pocket parks all over Tokyo. But when we interviewed people, many didn't even know they existed. And so we've been designing our own dual-use structures and objects. For example, bench plus emergency hub, where the community can use the lights for a party or for an emergency alert. And they can hear important announcements or play music for fun. And they can charge their phones through the solar panel or pedal power chargers. We're hoping that this engagement allows these locations to be engraved in people's cognitive maps, their neighborhood, so if something should happen, they would know where they can come to. And for this memory, it should be fun. So each part of this bench is designed with dual use in mind. As the children pedal fast and reach the rainbow of lights, it means that there's enough charge to make your most important phone calls. And so if there are 100 people in line, the idea is the rainbow will indicate the next person should be allowed to come forward to charge their phone. In a similar dual-use project, but in a very different context in Nepal, we co-created a pavilion with a women's cooperative and an NGO. It was a meeting place and had an emergency hub with secret supply compartments underneath the floors. And most importantly, when it floods, the sediment flow contaminates the water sources, and so this pavilion also has water purification system and a storage tank. The last example for today, this ring that I wear every day, we designed it in the lab, and we've now found a fabricator to mass produce them. It's also a whistle. If you're stuck in a disaster, the best way to call for attention without expending too much energy is to use a whistle. But who carries a whistle around all the time? Dual use. Dual-use design is fundamental, especially in building a culture of preparedness when resources are limited. We can design the buy one, get one free into each building, each landscape, and each object, but instead of getting two of the same things, you'd be two in one. These are only a few examples of many more that we have in the lab. Together, let's imagine a world in which disaster preparedness is really embedded in every part of the built environment, the way we prepare ourselves, and even things that we wear. We can become more resilient together if we all put in the effort to be prepared. And please join us, please reach out. Thank you all for being here today.